In this video, what we're going to take a look at is we're going to look at variables. We've used variables before. For example, if you take a look at object myPlane in the create event, we used a variable, and that variable was called canShoot. And the whole purpose of canShoot, of the variable, was to determine if we could shoot or if we could not shoot. And what happened is our variable called canShoot had a value of 1, and if it was 1, we said, yep, you can shoot. I want to change this and make another variable, and I made an object here, a very simple one, called object double. And what I'm going to do with object double is I'm going to make a variable for a double shoot. So in the space here, I'm just going to say, great, let's just, in the create event, I'm going to come up with a variable, because before we can use a variable, it needs to be created. So my variable is going to be called double shoot, and it will have a value of 0 if you can't shoot 2 bullets, and a value of 1 if you can double shoot. You can shoot 2 bullets at a time. So when the game is created, I'm going to have it as 0, and you'll see here when I press the space bar, if you can shoot, it's going to do this. And what I'm going to do inside of here is if double shoot has a value of 1, that means you can make 2 bullets. What I'm going to do is I'll create another block which makes 2 bullets, and I'll copy this block here, and I'll add at the end here, if double shoot is not 1, rather it's 0, I'm going to make it just make a single bullet. So if double shoot is 1, it's going to make 2 bullets, and if double shoot is equal to 0, it's going to make just 1 bullet. And so you'll see here, I'll just make, whoops, got to put it back up here. So here, if double shoot is equal to 1, I make 2 bullets and do all that. But if double shoot is 0, that means you're only shooting a single shot. What I'll do here is just make a single bullet, and I might make it at X right in the middle at 0. Okay, so it's just going to make a single bullet. And that's what we do. Okay, so that's how I could have a double shoot. So this would turn double shoot. So double shoot, how is double shoot going to get turned on? So what we're going to do is in object double, if it collides with the plane, I want to change the variable in the plane. So how do I do that? All I need to do is I go to my variables, and I want to say double shoot. That's my variable, and I want to change its value to 1. But double shoot is not a variable that's located in object double. Double shoot variable is located in object myPlane. So it's not a global variable, so it can't be used in all the objects. So what I need to do is I also need to include object myPlane. I got to and put a dot. So I put the object name, and then I don't know if you can see this or not, there's a period that separates the variable. So this basically says this variable double shoot, the period means it belongs to the object in front, and the object in front is myPlane. So now double shoot is going to be a value of 1. Great. The next thing I want to do is I eventually want to turn the double shoot back to 0. I don't want double shoot to be on for always. So I want to make it so double shoot's going to be on, and then it's going to turn off. So how would I turn it off? Well, how I would turn it off is I would use a timer. So we've used timers before. So in main 2, there's a timer. And I don't say that the timer applies to myself, but the timer is going to apply to object myPlane. And so I can say object myPlane, let's turn on timer number 11. I'll use the last alarm, and I'll say, let's make that tick in 200 steps. So just a few seconds. so we can see it. And you can adjust the time, of course. So I said in object my plane, turn the timer on for 200. And then finally, what I want to do here is I collided with the plane. I want this double shoot object to destroy itself. So I'll just say, great, we're done with the double shoot object. So now I need to make sure in the alarms, alarm 0 exists in this one. And what alarm 0 is going to do is the variable double shoot is going to return back to a value of 0. And I changed the variable. Notice I don't have to say object my plane dot double shoot here, because I'm already in object my plane, right? This event, this action happened in object my plane, so I don't have to specify the object. I could, but I don't have to, because the variable, it presumes it's going to be the variable inside here. Great. So now that I've done that, I could do the same thing for invincible. And what I would do with invincible, same thing, and I would say in the collision with object, change event, collision with the my plane, I would say let's go to this variable and say object my plane dot invincible is a value of 1. Okay, so when you collide with the plane, object my plane dot invincible is going to be a value of 1. And of course, what you would need to do is make sure that if I did that in the create event, I would have to already have created that variable. So I would already have to create the variable called invincible. And again, I'll set it to 0 being off, 1 being on. And then what invincible would do is I would have the same sort of thing. I'd say, okay, if invincible is equal to a value of 1, then do some set of events. And if invincible is equal to a value of 0, do another set of events. And in here, I'm cheating. I'm not actually doing anything. I'm just using the same thing. But, oops, why I want to move up. So, if invincible is 1, I'll lose health. Sorry, I don't want to lose health. I'll just destroy and play the sound. But if invincible is 0, I might do that. I might also change a sprite and things like that. Right now I don't have anything going on for that, so you won't see. Let me just test it, and then I'll call it a day in this video here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my room, and as the plane starts flying up, I want to put a object double. I'll put one right up here. So I'll fly for not very long, and then I'm going to hit this, and then we'll see I'll start having a double shot for a little while. So let's hit play and just make sure I did everything correct. And you'll see that the collision event with double is going to change a variable. By changing the variable and using the if variable statements, I can actually see something different. So I fire one bullet. Oops, what did I do here? Object plane dot double shoot equals 1. Unknown variable object my plane. What did I do wrong here? Unknown variable object my plane. Double shoot. So let me just double check in my plane. Did I not? Oh, I see the problem right here. Take a look at what I called object my plane. It's OBJJ. And so even capitals will cause a problem. For some reason, I've misspelled object my plane quite a bit right here. Don't know if I hit the key twice or whatever. So what I'm going to do is in object double here, I'm going to have to use, when I reference that variable in object, it wasn't object my plane, it was rather objaja my plane. So I just fixed that, and that should, of course, fix that. And I would have to do that all over be careful with how I called object myplane. Somehow I named it funny. I'm not sure if I just hit a double keystroke at him. And the reason I didn't change the name is, and now you'll see I got 2 shots. So I've got 2 shots for a little while. And you should see eventually it goes back to 1 shot because the timer triggered. Perfect. So that's a video, a bit of a long one, but